Okay, so we're going to start in a comfortable seat. So whatever that means for you, could be Sukhasana, cross legs, might be butterfly, might be legs extended. So whatever feels comfortable in your body this morning. So having a little bit of lift through the spine. A little bit of softness through the face, through the shoulders, through the belly. And if you're familiar with mudra or energy soothing with the hands, or your hands naturally go there, then you could of course take a mudra with the hands. Otherwise you might just rest them on the knees, the thighs, whatever feels good. And perhaps close out the eyes just for a moment. And we'll take a couple of cleansing breaths. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. Whenever you're ready, nice deep breath in. Really let it go out of the mouth. Maybe 3 like that in your own time. So almost this sense of welcoming into your day, whatever you may need, whatever you may desire, and just releasing from your day, whatever you don't want to be there. And if you've got I sometimes do like word of the day. Does that make me sound cool or like a geek? I don't know. Last night, the word strength came to me for whatever reason. So I'm going to use strength as my word for the day. You might have a word of the week. You might have a mantra. You might have a dedication to someone, just yourself. So we're going to take just a moment as we start our day to bring a little bit of focus onto that. If it serves you, you could place your left hand onto your heart as you do that. Almost like we're breathing it right into the heart space. Doesn't have to be complex. Simpler the better sometimes. And one more breath, just focusing on whatever we're focusing on. If you don't have a word, it's cool as well. And then releasing, gently blinking the eyes open. We're just going to start with some circles through lower body. So let your body, especially as it's early in the morning, kind of be as free as it needs to. So this is the perfect time just to start to wake up through the body. So go in with literally the flow of whatever feels good for you. It might be that you need like this real kind of just slow wake up. Might be that you want to bring a little bit more energy to it. We'll pause and take the circle in the opposite direction. Steady breath as we do it. Couple more times. And eventually bring yourself back to a nice neutral spine. So if it's comfortable sitting with a legs crossed position, and as you inhale, just start to draw the heart space up towards the sky, tilt the chin up, and we're bringing the shoulder blades together. As you exhale, we're pushing around in the spine away, tucking the chin to the chest. So seated cat and cow, just take a couple more like that, really important to warm up through the spine. And again, it might be like really small movements for you at the moment, or it might be something a little bit more expressive. Taking a couple more. Linking it with the breath. and eventually coming back to a neutral spine position. So as we breathe in, we're lifting up through the spine. As you breathe out, ground down to the ground. As you inhale, sweeping the hands up, join the palms. As you exhale, drop that left arm down and sweep the right arm up and over, so into your lateral stretch position. Breathe in, link the hands above the head, and as you breathe out, come over to the opposite side. So take a couple more like that. Again, it might just be really slow, or it might be that you want to get a little bit more energy involved in it. If it feels good, if it feels beneficial for you, you might linger on one side of the body. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And then linger on the opposite side. Next time the palms are back to center, bring them down towards the heart space. Let's take a breath in, sweep the hands up, open the palms towards me. And as you breathe out, turn to your right hand side. So right fingertips come behind, left hand goes where it goes. Push down into the earth behind you. As you breathe in, crown of the head comes up towards the sky. As you breathe out, we're coaxing that right shoulder round, softening into the knees, seated twist. Just be mindful of the head and neck, especially so early in the morning. Steady breath there. Take a breath in when it's there. As you breathe out, turning gently back to center, rejoin the palms. Inhale, sweep the hands up, palms towards me. Exhale, over to that opposite side. So that breath in gives you the length, gives you the lift. The breath out just softens you into your seated twist. Inhale when it's there, and as you exhale, turn back to center and briefly join the palms. So it could always be that when we join the palms, we're just resealing our intention for the day. And we're going to come on to hands and knees. So however you make it there is fine. Going into your tabletop position. And let's tuck the toes onto the mat. As we breathe in, we're going to shift the weight forward, so getting into the wrists a little bit. As we breathe out, we're going to shift the weight back, so getting into the feet. A couple more like that at your own pace, and obviously you're in control here, so wrists and even soles of the feet might feel quite delicate, a little bit tense. So just controlling, in yin we'd call it finding your edge. So find the edge that feels all right for you this morning. Next time the seat is back towards the heels, gaze shifts forward, take a breath in to prepare you. And as you breathe out, lift the seat towards the sky, let the head be heavy. We're coming into our first downward facing dog. And perhaps have a nice wiggle out of that one. So this is a full body stretch position. We might be having to move through the hips, the knees, coming up onto the toes, and then coaxing the heels down towards the ground. So kind of playful with it if we can. And then finding a couple of breaths of stillness. So seat pushes nicely up towards the sky, knees bend if necessary, head is heavy, fix a gaze point. Wherever that might be for you, breathe in deeply through nose, breathe out through nose or gapping lips. Next breath in, start to shift the gaze between the thumbs, soften the knees if you need to. As you breathe out, you can jump, you can step, you can walk the toes towards the backs of the wrists. Stay nice and low, perhaps feet hip distance apart. Soften into the knees, let the head be heavy, and maybe just have a bit of movement here. So a really nice one for stretching out backs of legs and spine. So they're both like kind of assisting each other in doing that. If fingertips come to the earth or onto props, you could have a little play with your weight. So shifting the weight forward, shifting the weight backwards. So mornings are just kind of like about getting the energy moving a little bit. Obviously, stagnation is created from being in bed, from being in certain positions for an amount of time. As you next breathe in, start to lift the gaze, maybe sweeping the hands upwards, join the palms, upward salute. And as you breathe out, sweep the arms down by the side of the body. And just have a bit of movement here. So whether it's a shake out, whether it's just simply kind of you walk up and down your mat. So whatever, I feel like I'm walking up and down my mat with real life and vigor. Where am I going? Just to the end of my mat and back again. And then let's come to find a moment of stillness. So if you've got a busy day ahead, really cherish this moment of stillness that we're going to have in Tadasana. Perhaps you close the eyes as you welcome it in. Take a nice deep breath in. Breathe out. Healing the feet to the earth. And noticing any sensations, any thoughts, any emotions that are present here. And just kind of greeting them all in a friendly manner. So whether we assign, oh, that's a good emotion, that's a positive thought, or oh, not so much on that one, just greet them as if they're all the same. Anchor back to the breath. So draw ourselves back into the present moment. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's blink the eyes open. As we breathe in, sweep the hands up, palms towards me. As we breathe out, we're going to sweep the hands down onto the hips and stride the right foot back. Heel is lifted away from the earth. Knees and toes are forwards. We're in our lunge position. Take a breath in once more. Sweep the hands up, palms towards me. As you breathe out, twist left. So over that bent knee, sweep the arms out nice and wide. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, that back hand starts to come down, front hand starts to lift up. You might wrap that back hand around the lower back for a little bit of support. Maybe the gaze shifts up towards the sky. Breathing in and out here. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to turn the body back to center. Start to bring the fingertips down towards the ground. So your choice whether you use a block here or any kind of prop or not. Push down through that right hand. As you inhale, left hand could come onto hip, waist, or reach up towards the sky. So a real open, expressive twist. Keeping that front knee bent. Back heel lifted if that feels okay. If not, place it to the earth. And again, you can take that upper hand, sweep it behind the back, really curl that left shoulder open. Beautiful. Breathing in and out here. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, start to turn back towards the ground, fingertips down. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, step that back foot forwards. We're in our forward fold. A little bit of release here. Push down through the feet, lift the gaze. Inhale, starting to sweep all the way up. Join the palms in upward salute. And as we exhale, we release. A moment of Tadasana. So perhaps that moment is just like this real deep breath. Welcome and release. Next, inhale, hands sweep up, palms towards me. As we exhale, the hands are going to come onto the hips as we step that left foot back. So find your steadiness there. Take a breath in, sweep the hands up once more, really reach through the side body. As you breathe out, we're turning over that right side. So fingers are even wide, everything is opening out and expressive. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, back hand comes down, front hand lifts. So a bit of a strange one, it's kind of like a back bend and a twist. So see what feels comfortable for you. Breathing in and out here. Taking a breath in. As you breathe out, we start to turn to center. Fingertips come down towards the ground. Push down through that left hand. As you inhale, sweep open with that right side. Maybe it's hand to hip or waist. Maybe it's hand behind back. Maybe it's that you know some other kind of variation. Lovely. Inhale where you are. As you exhale, start to turn back to center. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, step that back foot forwards. Push down through the feet. Inhale, start to lift into upward salutes. Exhale, sweeping the arms down onto hips or waist. And find a gaze point forwards. So finding our focus point. We've got our energy pushed down into that left foot. As you inhale, start to come onto the right tiptoes. As you exhale, turn that right knee out to the right and find your version of Trivrikasana. So whatever that might be this morning. Keep that gaze point forward. Perhaps you join the palms, namaskar. Perhaps you take the arms out wide. Again, if you're familiar with a mudra and there's one that you're using, go for it. Finding strength and softness within the body this morning. Nice deep breath in. And breathing out. Take a breath in, and as we breathe out, bring the hands down onto hips or waist. Next breath in, we're turning that right knee back to center. As we breathe out, soften into left knee and see if you can really slowly, so it's almost like we come through warrior three, stride that right foot back. So we find ourselves in our lunge position. Inhale, sweeping the hands up, palms towards me. As you exhale, folding forwards. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, step that front foot back, find your plank position. So whether this is a plank with the knees lifted, whether it's the knees lowered, so if it's knees lowered, knees would be behind the hips. A little cheeky squeeze of the bum cheeks. Draw the shoulders back and the crown of the head forward. So really fiery position. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, come down onto the knees, knees behind hips. Tops of the feet relax down. Inhale as we start to shift the weight forward. So remember this from the beginning where we're bringing shoulders ahead of wrists. We keep the belly tight. As we exhale, elbows push back. We start to lower down towards the ground. Push down through the hands. As you breathe in, roll the shoulders back just enough to be able to lift the heart space open. So this is only baby cobra, mini back bend. Tuck the toes, push the seat back to the heels. Take a breath in, breathe out, find your downward facing dog. And here, do you want to move and have a wiggle, or is this one more about stillness? That's completely up to you. Most importantly, that quality of breath. So if the quality of breath has maybe been lost, perhaps it's come down onto the hands and knees, just recapture that breath. As we inhale, we start to lift the gaze towards the top of the mat. As you exhale, walk, step, or jump your way forwards. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, if it serves you, really surrender into Uttanasana, your forward fold. So chin is towards the chest, arms are heavy. Maybe there's a little bit of swaying or movement. If you feel okay too, so no blood pressure issues, no dizziness this morning, then you might consider rolling up the spine. So head comes last. If there is any dizziness, any blood pressure issues, then you can still move slowly, but I would suggest lifting the gaze first. Pushing down through the feet. Coming all the way up. And perhaps you just have a little shake out again. Maybe it's just a little mooch on your mat. Nice deep breath. Come back to stillness. So really savor that moment of stillness. Breathe it all in. And then release. Let's bring the hands onto hips or waist. Anchor down through that right foot. As we breathe in, we lift onto the left toes. As we breathe out, we turn the knee out. Find your version of tree. It doesn't have to be the same on both sides. So it's pretty common that we're going to have one side where we really feel that our balance is better. So it's more about turning and opening into the hip and groin than the height of the leg. Maybe the palms join, maybe the hands lift, and it's kind of this sense of really pushing down and reaching up. Steadying the breath. Breathing in. As we breathe out, we start to bring the hands towards hips or waist. Breathe in, turn that left knee forwards. As you breathe out, it's this slow motion, stride back that left foot. So it could be as slow as you want it. We arrive onto the earth in our lunge position. Take a breath in, sweep the hands up, palms forwards. Breathing out, delivering ourselves down to the ground. Breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out to step back into your version of plank, whatever that might be. So the best version for you is the one that feels strong, it feels confident, maybe it feels a little bit challenging. We're keeping kind of the pelvic bowl, the pelvic floor, nice and tight, a little squeeze at the bum. That helps to keep the abdominal muscles tight. If you have your own safe version here of a vinyasa, then absolutely go for it. If not, then just follow me, dropping knees down to the ground. We breathe in to bring the body forwards. We breathe out, down onto the earth. Inhale into your back bend, the toes. Exhale, seat to heels. Inhale, and as you exhale, last downward facing dog. If you prefer, it could be tabletop or child's pose. So you decide. Breathing in and out. Soften into the knees, gaze comes forwards, And we're going to see if we can take a little jump forwards and cross the legs. So bend into the knees, come forwards, cross the legs, and sit the bum down. Lovely. Nice tall spine, just dropping the chin towards the chest. So give the neck a little bit of relief. As you then breathe in, chin lifts up towards the sky, just nice and gently. Maybe part the lips, give the throat space, soften the shoulders. Next time you breathe out, right ear drops over towards the right shoulder. So just as much as feels okay this morning. Breathe in, we draw back to center. Breathe out, just kind of flopping over to the other side. Breathing in, we come back to center. And a nice deep breath out. And completely up to you here. You might want to stay seated for your Shavasana. You might want to bring yourself down onto the earth for a couple of minutes. So you decide. I feel like it's danger zone for me if I come down onto the ground. So all you'll hear is maybe like, okay, bye. So if you're coming to the earth, just whatever feels like a comfortable position for you. Just going to have our last little ring out of the spine. So taking a breath in with the soles of the feet to the earth. As we breathe out, we just drop the knees over to the right. So we don't necessarily need to stack them. As we breathe in, we bring the knees back to center. And as we breathe out, we just drop them over to the left. And returning to center. If you feel like you need a last minute stretch or wiggle, then absolutely go for it. Perhaps closing the eyes or softening the gaze. Nice deep breath in through the nose. And let it out with a sigh out of the mouth. Ah. And you might anchor yourself to the breath just for these next couple of minutes. You might anchor yourself to the physical body or return to that word, statement, dedication, if you feel that you drift away in Shavasana. So what we want to be is as present as possible, savoring these next couple of minutes. Where everything just slows down and we rest. Taking a deeper breath, that sense of welcoming and releasing. Starting to have a stretch out of your body, maybe even a little shake out. So you might lift the fingers up towards the sky, give the arms a shake, lift the toes up, give the toes a shake. So that could be multiple things. It could be a kind of somatic way of shaking off any energy you don't want to take into your day, or it could be this kind of like wake up call. And you're more than welcome to stay on the earth if that serves you, then absolutely go for it. If not, as it's the morning time, I would roll to your right hand side. So right is our fire, our energy side. Gently push your way up. And we'll meet in a seated position if that's where you want to go. Just closing the eyes or softening the gaze. We're back to where we began. Nice tall spine, but a softness through the face, through the shoulders, through the belly. An invitation to bring the palms together at the heart space. As we breathe in, really feel yourself confidently rise. And as you breathe out, just gently tuck the chin to the chest, a bow down to yourself. Body, breath, mind, bowing to each other. And I bow to you. Thank you very much for joining me, for trusting me to guide you this morning. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day. The light and dark in me honors the light and dark within you. Namaste.